when you went back and watched the film, like, where'd your mind go first? What stood out most to you?
Yeah, well, I would say my initial thoughts right after the game were pretty similar to what I saw once I went back and watched the film. Um, little mistakes that we need to clean up as an entire team, as a unit, and as an individual.
Where would you say you were most disappointed from what you guys did in fall camp didn't translate?
I would say coming out strong and establishing that run game and being more consistent. Just as a unit, I could speak for the offense. Coach Frost preaches about special teams, about the turnover battle, and about the line of scrimmage and being physical. And we need to be more consistent in all those areas. All of us do. So.
What can you guys get out of a game like this week, playing an FCS school like Fordham?
Yeah, well, we're approaching it as like any other game week. We need to get better, and we're taking it each day at a time. Had a really good practice today, I'd say, and going to go out there and play our hardest, not treat it any different.
How would you evaluate the way you played passing the ball now that you've had some time to really look at it?
There's some moments where I thought I made some good decisions, and then there were some other moments where I needed to stand and deliver, and I didn't make the throw. Inaccurate on a couple passes, and I'm look back at it and going to improve. Simple as that. I owe the guys better and the coaches better, and I'm going to do that this next week.
They really seemed to make a concerted effort to keep you in pocket. Were there a couple times where that's a fine line, but where you thought maybe you could have made a throw as pressure was getting to you, or just before you decided to run?
Are you talking about times I decided to take off?
Yeah, like that fine line between making a throw at the last second before you.
Yeah, there definitely is a fine line there, and you run the risk of moving up through the pocket and guys swiping at you while you're trying to make something happen. Usually it's all right. Make a decision, roll with it, and it's a general feel thing, I would say.
Wyatt was saying the first time since he's been here that there hasn't been music in practice. Did you notice that today, and did you think it was necessary?
Yeah, I noticed it. I really didn't put too much stock into it. Have a lot of other things need to worry about, need to improve on. So music, no music, we're out there to get better.
What about you as a leader and the other guys being leaders? Wyatt talked about how important it was for you guys to, as leaders, pick up the guys, bring in energy, and making sure that one game is done.
100%. They're very important, and it's our responsibility. And the guys definitely stepped to the plate today, and we brought the energy. And despite sore bodies, whatever, that week one loss is done with. We still have the entire season ahead of us and everything that we want to accomplish ahead of us. So we have to treat it as such and approach today, which I believe we did, with that in mind.
Yeah, Oliver Martin didn't really start practicing until like September, October of last year, but he seems to have earned your trust pretty quickly. What do you like about his game and the way he's developed?
Yeah, I do really trust Oliver. He's a guy who will go up and get it. He proved that Saturday, and he's really fast. He can make plays, knows where he's supposed to be. I think he's a stud, and excited for what else he could do for us this year.
You guys didn't put up big numbers rushing in the first half, but you have a pretty good feel for how things are going as the game's going on. Did you feel like you were making some inroads that, had the game situation been different, could have paid off later in the game? Or I guess, what did you make of the production, in the run game in the first half?
Yeah. I would say our coach touched on it a little bit. I know I did as well, in that they showed up in a little bit of a different defense than what we were expecting. I do believe we were paving the way, but the game sort of changed, and you have to adapt what you're calling, and that's not the way we would like to play.
How does that, when they show up in a different defense, how did that affect you?
Personally, my job is to know what I need to do against any front, any defense, whatever, and I knew sort of going into it that I needed to be light on my feet depending on what they showed up in. But it can be a lot, and really that changes a game plan. And for me, my reads will change, but I wouldn't say it's an excuse for a poor decision.
How did having Verduzco on the field differ from him in the box?
Yeah, I love Verduzco on the field. I loved him on the field, and I loved him in the box too. But he brings a certain presence, and I love being able to go to the sideline and talk to him. He really did a good job of making sure the QB unit was around some of the other positions as well, and excited for what's to come in that area.
What was maybe he able to communicate to you in a moment, whether it was emotionally or teaching, that's harder to do from the box?
I would say the emotional piece is harder to do from the box. And it's a lot easier to sort of connect on that level on the field and maybe see some things that you wouldn't see up in the box.
Was that your request?
What's that?
Did he move down? I mean, did you ask him to do that?
I don't really want to go into that.
Adrian, what would be your message to the fan? A lot of fans hit the panic button after a game like Saturday. Just thinking about the rest of the year, what would be your message to fans right now?
Yeah. Look, we're here to play some football, here to enjoy it, here to have fun, and our guys are going to do that. And we're getting better, and we're giving it everything we have. Everything we have. There's a lot of investment here on this end, and we are going to get things right. So stick with us. We're going to play our tails off every week, and I sincerely hope you enjoy watching that.
Anything else for Adrian?
Thanks, Adrian.
Adrian, what's it going to be like to play the fans coming back? And obviously it's going to be a different vibe because Coach Frost talked about even in the at media day stand, it was almost a deterrent last year because you guys were looking for that energy. You didn't have it. But how cool is that going to be this Saturday?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Really excited to see Memorial Stadium in full force. The spring game was, 40% capacity. Excited for that. Excited for some of our young guys, some of the guys who their first year was last year. They don't truly know what it's like. When you're waking up in the morning, you look out the window, you see red everywhere, and you hop on the bus. There's people outside your hotel ready to go. You're making your way to the stadium, and people are flooding the streets. It's an amazing environment, and part of what makes this place so special. So very excited for that.